What's going on in the tunnel, sports fans? We're back for another exciting week in the tunnel. You got me, your boy, Dallas Melvin in the house with my co-host. There he is. He's back.
Pat Truth's the truth. I'm back. Happy to be back.
So
lot to talk about.
You got a lot to talk about. He's got a lot to talk about. So we're not gonna hold you very long. We're gonna jump right in. My boy was in Indy, Naptown, at the NFL Combine last week. Holla at us, man. What you got for us?
Besides being cold when I first got there, it warmed up a little, thank God. But it was a lot of interesting things went on at the Combine. You have a lot of kids. Stock came up overnight, and quarterbacks throwing. It was incredible. It was very incredible, man. So it just a lot of the free agent things going on.
Right.
Seeing all that. Seeing y'all big raggedy RV there. Jerry
Always
parking it somewhere at a prime place. And I get tired of looking at that
can't
ugly
miss the star.
The raggediest RV.
But here's a question for you. It's kind of combine related, but kind of not combine related. With what they're doing with, they start doing Super Bowl and what they're doing with the draft. What you think about moving the combine around, man? Like Indy, I ain't no knock against Midwest and Indy, but it's cold up there. Can you imagine that bad boy being in Houston right now?
Well,
combine?
You know what it is. They like things to be close together, and that's why they keep it in Indy, because you could get your 2 blocks or a block down for everything. Where the players do their interviews at, where the players stay at, right across from the dome.
Okay.
You got J.W. Marriott, a block down the road. Mm-hmm. It's connected to the dome, so it's so convenient. If you put it in Houston or you put it in Dallas, everything's so spread it out. So that's why they keep it in Indy, because it's very convenient.
Now if you take it to the Star, everything right there at the Star.
Hotels, you got a job that driving and everything. Nah, that ain't gonna work, man.
What about New Orleans? Orlando or Tampa?
Well, New Orleans probably a problem because it's a 24-hour city, all that partying. So you don't want to have it down there. It's too wild. But, I mean, that's why they keep it, because of it's so convenient. Because one thing about Houston, when you do have events here, everything be so spread out. Even if that's a coaching convention. So that's why everybody can walk to everything.
Okay.
And that's
so we got to have a walk-in. We're gonna table that right now. But we got to find a way to get that thing out the cold, man, before I start going next year.
We're gonna be
for sure.
The tunnel will be in the house. We always in the house, but we'll be in the house bringing the show there next year. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Excited about that, because they signed a 2-3 year deal.
Yeah, they just signed for 2 more years, so it's gonna be there next year and the year after that, which means the NFL is probably they're looking to move it.
Yeah, they got to find the right place.
Yeah, they got to find the right place
with a setup like that.
Exactly. And some of these cities they'll build a setup like that. And people building hotels and restaurants and stuff all the time. So who improved their stock in your thought process over the combine?
Well, the best player in the draft is the Love kid from Notre Dame. But
Love,
but the problem is they don't like to take running backs early, and he's gonna have to get taken early. I mean, the best place for him, I think, is with Harbaugh down in New York Giants. That's the best place for him. And he really put his rise up. And, of course, you have the other kid, the Washington kid from Arkansas. He went in there, ran that 4.3, ran the fastest time at 2:25, 2:23, 6.1, ran that 40 time. So his stock even then came up, too, for his running backs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, tight end is Straw's kid from Vanderbilt. Shout out to Coach Showers, his son. He had a 45.5 vertical as a tight end. His stock then came up. He was very, very athletic, And speaking of tight end, you look at the tight end from Oregon. He ran the fastest time.
He did.
He ran 4.3.
But the question on him is, does his measurables match his production and his tape? Like he wasn't a volume type tight end, and you would think somebody that big and that fast, you hope they have the ability to be a volume. Can you project him to be a volume type tight end?
No, because it's not too many throwback tight ends.
Okay.
So, you got to look at cats can put their hand in the dirt, can run routes in the dirt, spread out, and all that. So now the way the system is now, people use tight ends different kind of ways, and they'll run 3 sets, especially in the red zone. kid like that, you're going to keep him out, flank out too, though.
Okay.
You know?
So I would be remiss. Make sure you go on YouTube. You subscribe to us if you're not subscribing already. InTheTunnelSportsMedia.com. Go on our Instagram, In the Tunnel Sports Media, TikTok, Twitter, In the Tunnel, Facebook, In the Tunnel Sports Media. Subscribe, help us out. This is how we get you. This is how we're able to go to the combine, bring you back real information, not just what you're going to see on national information that's been filtered. We ain't got no filter over here. We don't have a big sponsor to say we can't say this, we can't do that. We can say whatever the heck we want to say from that standpoint. So, once again, thank you for tuning in. Let's get in the chat, though. Hop in the chat. Let us know. Somebody said, what's up? So we got people in the chat hollering at us, what's up? We do know that it's voting season. Some of y'all at the polls. It's okay. Before you get up to that poll, pull us up. You can watch us on your phone. In the Tunnel Sports Media. We already voted, so make sure you do, too.
Definitely.
Sure you
Some represented today on the ad. Still in that long line, but it was worth it, so get your vote in. I know it's the last minute. And if you got headsets on, you can just watch us and subscribe while you vote.
Yeah. By the way, I did mine early because I don't want to do them lines. I don't do them lines for nothing. So what do you think about Brendan Thompson, wide receiver from Mississippi State? He run a 4.26. Kind of, Worthy set the record last year. Last year or 2 years ago, Xavier Worthy out of Texas went to Kansas City. He ran a 4.21. They thought he had a chance to break that record. Is he just a fast dude, or is he a true wide receiver, that Brendan Thompson at Mississippi State?
No, he fast. I watched him play a couple of games. He real fast. They had a lot of games on the wire they could have won, too. And he made a lot of big-time catches.
Texas beat him at the end.
Yes.
And then you got the Ohio State linebackers.
But the receiver shocked everybody. Lance, I think that's Trey Lance. I think it's his little brother from North Dakota, ran a 4.34. So his stock then rised up, too, though.
Right.
And he was fast, too, It's unbelievable how fast these linemen was, which we'll talk about that, too.
What's the fast? It was. They say it was going to be a fast track for sure. Track for sure. Let's talk about quarterback. We all know who the number one quarterback is. That's going to be Mendoza going to the Raiders. That's projected by literally everybody that's following the draft.
Yes.
I heard Ty Simpson, the Alabama quarterback, did some stuff to help his stock to actually maybe get drafted in the first round now.
Oh, they talking about him going in the first round. The crazy thing is this. It's not a strong year for quarterbacks. You both know that.
Right.
But at times you have to throw. A lot of kids make a mistake when they don't throw. And I knew that kid was going to throw. I knew he was going to do a good job throwing. And that's what he did. He moved his stock up. So they talking about him going mid-late first round. And he got a chance because a lot of teams need quarterbacks. And he did his thing, and he was throwing that thing on the money.
So what about the kid out of Arkansas State Green?
Yeah, Arkansas.
Was it Arkansas?
Yeah, from Arkansas.
From Arkansas Green?
Louisville, Texas, went to Boise State first.
Okay.
Trent Green. Oh, man, he put on the show. Athletic-wise, he ran at what? Ran a good time. He ran like a high 4.3, something like that.
Yep.
And he threw the ball good. Everybody had question marks on him. But my thing, I hear people talking about changing him. What changing him for what?
Well,
and he did what he's supposed to do.
They're calling him, and I don't like this, but they're comparing him, and only because he's been injured, but they're comparing him to Anthony Richardson, who came out of Florida, who went to Indianapolis, got hurt his first couple of years, and really hadn't done it. He hasn't grown in the league.
Well, hold on. How can you compare him to Anthony Richardson when Anthony Richardson never played a full season, number one? This kid was at Boise State, put on the clinic there, went to Arkansas, put on the clinic, and he went to the combine and showed off. One thing about this kid, he's from Texas. He's tough. He can take hits. He's not going to check himself out the game. Now, come on now. I never was crazy about Anthony because he never did anything. I wasn't crazy about him even when he was in high school. He's a big athlete, but he didn't get the job done. It's solved. And he didn't mind sitting on the bench. So they need to hush that. You can't compare this kid to that kid. And this kid didn't play 4 seasons and took hits and ran and threw and did everything he's supposed to do. Yeah, he had some things that wasn't right, but I really think it was the Arkansas system. But as long as he must have been working with a good quarterback coach. He's a freakish athlete. That's what you got to have. I mean, I was looking at the documentary on Michael Vick, the thing he produced, him and his wife, and they went around interviewing all the quarterbacks, all the black quarterbacks. What was amazing was Steve Young was on there, and the quarterback played for the Vikings back in the 70s. I can't think his name. But he
Jurgensen? Sonny Jurgensen?
Yes.
Okay.
And when you look at those guys, they paved the way for the black quarterbacks. but you had black quarterbacks play like that. They had something against them.
Right.
Steve Young was on there.
He was a runner.
And Steve Young, yeah, exactly. And he talked about those guys. They appreciating them. But, you know, back in the day, it seemed like we couldn't do it. They could do it, but we couldn't do it. So my thing is this. This kid, he could see over the line.
Okay.
About 6'5". He could do all that. He has all the height measurement and everything else. But if he get with the right system, the right coaching, I think this kid could do a good job. You cannot compare this kid to no Richardson. And I mean, if you look at the college history, this kid put on a big show.
So hop in the chat. Let us know what players you want us to talk about. Let us know what teams you want us to ask about. All that good stuff. We definitely can't go over all the players. We can't go over all the teams. But if you got somebody specific you want us to cover in the chat, we definitely will. Let's talk about some more Texas.
I'm gonna say this before we get off the quarterbacks. Carson Beck.
Okay.
They was booing him.
He's going to be an undrafted free agent at best.
He'll get drafted late.
Oh, man, if anybody wastes a draft pick on him.
He'll be a backup.
Man, you don't draft backups. You might draft backup 6, 7 round.
Yeah.
For sure. What about those Ohio State linebackers, Reese and Styles?
Styles was going first round regardless. But this boy moved this up in the top 5. I mean, that is just unbelievable what this kid did. He was a former safety. They moved a linebacker, which that's what they do today.
Right.
And the kid reminded me of a kid I got in my program named Jamarcus Hudson. I always talk about the kid out of Port Arthur. They got the same kind of frame. I can see this kid 4 years from now being in the combine doing the same thing this kid did. And that's how they like him, long, athletic, and run. This kid is he just stole the show. He definitely be top 5, Melvin. He got to be top 5.
Who, Styles?
Yes.
Yeah, the good thing about it is, and this is what I was worried about, because before the combine, they projected him to go to the Cowboys at 12, but he ain't making it out of top 10.
Well, they might trade. It might be worth trading up. Jared said the other day at the combine, he said he is spending his money on his free agent and his players.
Yeah.
He's going to spend the most he ever spent. But you never know what goes on during draft day, especially with Jerry. Because the Cowboys, I hate to say this, them suckers are the most talked about team during the offseason. Jerry always set it up for that. But at the same time, though, you know, this kid may be gone, but you never know. With Jerry, you never know. Because they need a kid like that. They need safety and they need linebackers. I know they're going to get some guys in free agent. I know they probably plan on drafting some safety. But, man, I do what I got to do to get that kid.
So the defensive coordinator is Christian Parker.
Young cat.
He's looking for what he calls the ultimate nickel, and that's the guy that really – he don't come off the field. He plays safety, and then when they go to nickel, he drops down, and he's a nickel back.
Yes.
And then if they playing big, he drops down and plays linebacker and run support. Right. And so a guy like Styles, who was a safety but moved down a linebacker, obviously has the ability to do that. So he might be worth moving up and getting for sure, because he had the best athletic measurables out of all those cats.
And you know what? It's so funny because Jimmy Johnson was the first coach to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
And I tell everybody, which in recruiting he learned from the bootlegger. Bass put a lot of good coaches out there and taught him the game in recruiting. But when it came to evaluating talent, Jimmy always been my favorite college coach. And he made safeties in the linebackers, corners in the linebackers, in, all that. Yeah, the whole 9. Made speed in the game. And now what the game is, and you're doing a lot of slants and stuff covering inside, they need them long guys. And that's why measurements plays a role with them long arms. So they get that kid, and I like this young DC. I like his energy. I like what he's finna bring to the table.
Right.
Yeah. So it's gonna be real interesting.
So let's talk about another Texas kid, David Bailey out of Texas Tech, edge rusher. They're projecting him to go top 10. So a couple of interesting facts. So David Bailey, he ran faster than Antonio Cromartie, who by the way was a DB. He was quicker in the shuttle than Devontae Adams, who, by the way, is a Hall of Fame wide receiver. He jumped higher than A.J. Green, who, by the way, was one of the top wide receivers. And then he's more explosive in the explosive drills than Adrian Peterson, who's one of the best running backs of all time. And then they said, last but not least, he was heavier than Von Miller was coming out of school.
I'm going to say this, Melvin.
That boy's a beast.
Okay, he had to run track growing up because that plays a role. You got to have speed today.
Yeah.
And all these little skill position guys, if you ain't got no speed, you ain't getting recruited. You got to have that. You got these big players And they got good. The other kid did good. The Reese kid from Texas Tech, he ran a 4.5 too. He was fast. They both were fast, but like you said,
this kid ran a 4.5. Antonio Cromartie ran a 4.52 coming out.
Both of them did. They both ran that. But like you said, when you talk about the measurements, you talk about the agilities, the vertical,
talking about
all
footwork.
That. Yeah.
Oh, man,
you got it. Yeah.
That guy's gonna be.
The thing I tell people is, athletes today are more bigger, stronger, faster, especially all the stuff they got the technology today. And I look at defensive end position. That's like a skill position.
Right.
So if you got a kid running a quick hitch or delay, that DN coming off the edge can turn around, catch it from behind, all kind of ways. The game is speed now. So you really, that's why I tell parents it's so important to invest in your kids. They got to run track. You got to work on all those type of drills in the backyard so you be ready. This kid had to have been doing this for a minute. I know he ran track. You know what I'm saying? And now they're making these guys a little more bigger, a little more thin. That's why the tackle position is so important in having footwork. And that's why it's the hardest position.
Right.
Besides quarterback. Especially left side's tough. So you got to cover these guys coming off that edge.
So to that end, for all you youngsters out there, and these coaches and these schools are pushing you to pick a sport, play multiple sports as long as you can. And trust me, as you get better in whatever sport you're going to end up playing and at the next level, it will benefit you to be a football player and have played baseball, to be a basketball player and have played soccer, to be a basketball player or a football player and ran track.
Track gonna make you better in any sport, and that's why a lot of people go get those basketball players do the triple jump and the high jump. They be naturally jumpers like the boy. I think it's his house that played at North Show, went to Texas.
Yep.
That boy went to state in the triple jump. Just ran at the lane, ran district and went to state. I have a little cousin Carwood did the same thing at Martin Ranch, and they went to state. So that's why when you see these guys, athletic ability track coaches. See that a lot of track coaches be football coaches, and they end up putting them boys in the track. And they catch them early in high school, and they don't do them to make them better athlete. And that's any sport.
So, anybody else at the combine stood out?
Well, the offensive lineman we was talking about.
Well, what lineman you talking about?
The kid out of Utah. He ran a 5 flat.
Okay.
And so you had these guys was running. So, the laser time is slow.
Right.
So, if he running a 5 flat, 9 to 10, he's the Spencer Fubu kid. 9 to 10, they run the 4.8, 4.7.
Yeah.
Lace time. And this kid his work ethic is unbelievable. And it's going to be interesting because, see, bad as enough we need offensive linemen. There's a lot of offensive linemen out there, and we're trying to get in the free agent of Houston Texans. I wouldn't be surprised if they picked the kid from Florida, the Banks kid.
Caleb Banks.
Caleb Banks. I wouldn't be surprised they get him because they do want a young D tackle. They say this kid is at the longest wingspan ever in the history, and they say he's the biggest D tackle.
So
this kid athlete, he could go.
So we can jump back to the combine, but since you mentioned the Houston Texans and they're drafting at the end of the draft,
28,
you drafted 28, which means they had a good year from that standpoint. But they also trading offensive linemen. They Achilles heel. They said you can't. We need to protect Stroud, but they traded one offensive line. They traded 2 offensive linemen this week. One to the Browns and one to Detroit. But you need offensive linemen. What the heck's going on?
Well, you never know what's up, what they got up under their sleeve. They GM, I just don't trust him. But we don't know what he's doing. We don't know what he's gonna do as an organization. So you have to understand, they probably going to get some guys free agent. And, of course, they're going to draft because most of the guys they're going to draft is old linemen. So they got to have something underneath their sleeves. Titus, I think they figured it was time for him to go. He, of course, they had the contract coming up, so getting Montgomery was a real good choice. They got to draft another running back, too. They had to get another bigger back.
So you're talking about they got David Montgomery from the Lions. From Detroit Lions,
29 years old.
For I believe they got him for a 4th rounder this year, a 7th rounder in 27, and then they sent an offensive lineman, Juice Scruggs, for David Montgomery. So That sounds like a lot for him. He's 29.
No, they need that back.
And it's his third team.
But they got draft picks. They got what, two second-round draft picks.
They got a fourth rounder, seventh rounder.
Right.
That they gave away.
Right.
And an offensive lineman. So here's my thing.
So if they get some lineman free agent, draft some good linemen. And you just never know, because sometimes your 6, 7 round draft picks be the best.
No, they do. But one of the worst lines in football last year at protecting Stroud, and literally if they could have been bottom half of the league, they'd been in the state. We'd be talking about them in the Super Bowl.
Right, but here's the thing. Part of that offensive line, it wasn't their fault all the time. It was Coleridge, Bernard Stroud, the fourth fault. Holding the ball on, not getting rid of it. So, in times it was their fault. New England line did put it on them, but that wasn't a lot of plays they held the line. And it was on him too, though.
So, to that point, I mean, it might make sense you ain't holding on to guys that didn't do it last year, so you're going to give some other guys a chance. But, anytime you're going to go to war with a bunch of young offensive linemen, by the end of the year, they're going to get schooled.
They trying to stack that line. They need a tight end. They need a blocking tight end. And they trying to stack that line, which is smart. And they want to run more than they throw, especially keep the pressure off of Coleridge, Bernard Stroud.
So, but speaking of the Texans, I like Montgomery, but Kenneth Walker III, who just won a Super Bowl MVP, is free.
Yeah, but you
didn't even have to trade for him. You could just went and signed him.
You also got to understand,
and he's 3 years younger.
They probably had to give a lot to get him. Where they want to save that money, what they need, where they more needed. He could be the highest paid running back.
You need bodies over.
I understand that, but it's a reason why. It's because if they would have paid him all that money, that would have took a lot of slack of them getting linemen too, though, man.
What money?
Dallas Melvin. Listen.
Javonte Williams just got $8 million a year. Breece Hall, which is on the franchise tag, got $14 million.
Right.
So he wasn't gonna get more than Breece Hall. So you gonna average out somewhere between 8 and 14 million. So say you're gonna give him $10 million. That's what David Montgomery is getting right now.
Okay, but for a prime example, if you got a couple other backs out there, because they got to get a back in the second round too. I get a lineman in the back. And if Mike Washington around and they got a chance to get him, you got Marks, you got him, that's a three-legged monster right there. Because Marks is the third down back. So if you get those guys and get him and get your stacking lineup, it ain't worth paying all that money for that running back getting them here.
We got some folks in the chat. What they saying to us, Julius? Okay, so the chat is saying
that's what I'm
Texans
saying.
are going to definitely pick up free agent O-lineman, which is definitely probably a good strategy since they were so terrible on the offensive line last year. But to your point, it wasn't all offensive line. It was Coleridge holding the ball.
It ain't play calling.
The play call ain't changed.
And that's the thing. When you bring in this other coach, Gerard Johnson, who's the quarterback coach, didn't renew his contract and he left. And he's ready to move around. And they got this other guy coming in, supposed to work with Brady. To me, ain't nobody. Brady's Brady. But they supposed to work with Coleridge. So we're going to see. Coleridge complains a lot. We're going to see what happens. But at the end of the day, they're trying their best to keep everything around this guy. Because if he, like everybody know, he's going to get the boot if he don't get it this year.
Yeah, because this is the year. They got to renew his contract or re-up his contract after this year with the 5th-year option. So this is the year that he has to make it happen. So you like the trade, and you like letting those offensive linemen go for the Texans.
Well, yeah, if they getting the right ones free agent and drafting the right ones and drafting a running back and drafting a tight end, yeah, they need a young D tackle. They need a young D tackle. So I wouldn't go crazy if that kid banks around, which I doubt if he be. They might trade up for him. If they decide just to grab him, which they need that, and then they get some other linemen, second, third round, because there's some other good linemen out there, big bodies out here, And I'm looking forward because we got Aaron going to come in.
What if the Alabama quarterback Todd Simpson is there at 28?
They ain't gonna draft.
Do you take him?
No, not with the Texans.
Why not?
Say, man.
You got the heir apparent, and you don't have to pay that dude. You let him sit behind Stroud.
They're gonna draft. They're gonna draft unless they make a good trade, getting somebody like Burrow. But they'll draft a quarterback next year because you got a lot of good quarterbacks come out next year. So they'll draft one that they even say that for next year. Now, what I would love is I hear Burrow want to get traded. And, I mean, that would be, but I know they got to give up a lot to give him. You know, but that would be interesting.
So
see what happens.
We're gonna definitely see what happens. Let's go to that franchise tag. I know I mentioned Breece Hall with the Jets. They thought he might hit the market. He got franchised at $14 million per year. The one that surprised me was Kyle Pitts, tight end with the Atlanta Falcons. He got franchised for $15 million a year.
Yes,
and he ain't lived up to his potential since he been in the league. What you franchising that cat for?
He's been doing pretty good. He's a receiver. He's
pretty good.
He's not a tight end. He's been catching the ball, long body, the way they're using him. And like I'm telling you, Melvin, you got to have people on 3 sets. You just got to have different type of tight ends. You got your throwback ones. They're really hard to find. When you find one, great. Ones you can split out. One can block. You go in the 3 set, the red zone like New England do. You go 3 set in the red zone. Hey,
you franchise, but you franchise stars. He ain't no star.
Hey, man, that man been good in Atlanta. That man been doing real good in Atlanta.
Man.
Now, he's not going to block, but you spread him out. That kid from Philly tough. He can go now.
So the Colts decided to franchise or transitional tag Daniel Jones. So he's guaranteed $37.5 million.
Which was smart.
Which very smart, because you ain't nowhere near the 40 and the 50 million that some of these other quarterbacks getting that he don't deserve, by the way.
And that's what I'm saying. You drafted a quarterback 2 years ago, just quit, don't care about being a backup. And this guy comes in and he didn't do nothing in New York. But like I tell everybody, it's about the schemes you're in and the systems you're in. And Jones was like a whole different quarterback till he got hurt. They went and got big boy Santa Claus off the couch.
So let's talk about what everybody want to talk about. America's team, who they franchised.
Everybody want to talk about
George Pickens. I had people talking about, oh, he ain't going to be a Cowboy. They ain't going to be able to keep him. They ain't going to pay him that money. Well, guess what? Like I've been saying for the last 2 or 3 months, George ain't going nowhere but to the top. He going to the top.
I don't know about him going to the top, but he ain't going nowhere.
He going to the top with these Cowboys.
But I don't know about all that other stuff. He got that
star on the side of his head, and he's like, I'm going to be a star in Dallas and all over the league because guess what? I got a quarterback. I got an aggressive play caller. I like my teammates.
And you got CeeDee Lamb on the other side.
They believe in me on the other side, and I got another number one on the other side of me. So everybody was talking about, oh, George going to leave. Why would the man want to leave? This is the best situation he's ever had.
He wasn't going to leave. He was disciplined this year, kept his mouth shut, and played ball. So I hope this money don't go to his head. I hope he continue to do that. And it's something special because Dallas' offense is straight. It's this other side of the ball.
But here's my thing. Everybody said he was disciplined this year. And
yeah, he was because he off the chain.
He kept his mouth shut.
He was a headache in the locker room in Pittsburgh.
So I got a question for you. Because you've been in locker rooms. You're around a lot of these players. You're around, quote, headaches, quote, good players, quote, players we don't know about, right? Do you think on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give you a second, so don't just answer real quick. I want you to think about this because you got 30-plus years in football. So if anybody can answer this question, you can answer this question. On a scale of 1 to 10, for good players with talent, how much does the environment they're in play into how they actually react to certain things in certain ways, and whether they feel like they got support, whether they don't feel like they got support, whether they good in locker room or not? How important? On a scale of 1 to 10. 10 is super important. 1 is not that important. We ain't don't give me no 5 or 6. Pick a side. How important is that environment?
I mean, it's very important. A lot of times it ain't the environment because sometimes they bring their environment to the environment. Some of them don't come from good stock, good environment. Some of them have to grow up. It depends what goes on. I mean, you taking Antonio Brown. Matter of fact, I've been looking at the Tampa Bay documentary. I haven't finished looking. I haven't got to that part. But I remember on the trailer, Mike Evans was like, what are you doing, man? When he took his uniform out, ran out the locker room looking like a damn monkey. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm telling you is Big did some things in Pittsburgh, sold the coach out on him, and he did some immature stuff. Sometimes we all have to grow up. And right now he's doing good, and he's acting good. I hope he continue to do that.
Pick.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he though?
Yeah, but I'm saying some guys don't. Some guys study be
Why
headaches
wouldn't
too.
he? Why wouldn't he?
You know, so sometimes people take chances on them guys, become problems or headaches and hell of a ball players. But at the same time, it's a time and place for everything, and you got to grow up. Because one thing about the NFL, it stands not for long if you keep clowning.
So speaking of clowning, then AJ Brown just ain't grown up yet. I mean, he got Super Bowl. He got Super Bowls he winning.
AJ Brown problem is, I think it's time for him to get out of there because he got a good relationship with a couple of offensive coaches in New England. That'd be the good place for him to go. And he say he don't want to go, but they got to get something together down there. Because this headache, you reading the book on the sideline is one thing. Did it more than one time. But at the same time, you're not running fast on your routes. And everybody want to blame Jalen, but everybody really see what's going on. So my thing is, they got to get it together. Because right now, they ain't got time to deal with that stuff another year.
So you was at the Combine. You saw the Cowboys' new defensive coaches running around there. You got the secondary coach. You got the D-line coach, Dixon. Yes. That was there.
My man, Hampton U.
Hampton U, Coach Dixon. You know a little bit about Coach. Tell us a little bit about Coach Dixon. Some stuff people may not know, may not know.
Coach Dixon, I'm so proud of that young brother because what he been through. You know, when he was in high school, they jammed him up to me. He raped a girl. The man did time.
Right.
You know, it was on his way to Vanderbilt. But how he fought through that and made a hell of a comeback and got a second chance in life and went to Hampton. I think Oprah Winfrey got him in Hampton or something like that because he was on the show.
Yep.
He was on Real Sports.
Yep.
When he was locked up and went down there and did what he had to do and went to Dallas and made the squad, built that relationship. I was hoping he was going to be about a year ago. I saw him in the airport when I was leaving out of Houston. He was at an interview with the Texans. But, I mean, he's a hell of a coach and a family man, beautiful wife, beautiful kids. I'm just proud of that man and what he's doing, and he's going to be a big impact getting with that D-line, though. So, you know, that's a guy, man, he's been through it. And where he is today, we can't be nothing but be happy. Because where he from and how they try to do that to him, that part of Georgia, I mean, that boy's supposed to be still in jail, man.
So, I mean, that's a great story. He's talking about, you know, high character guys. And when you say high character, that don't mean you ain't never made no mistakes. Yeah. That just means what do you do after you make a mistake?
And that really. And
by the way, I'm not saying he made mistakes.
That wasn't a mistake.
I'm not saying he's made mistakes, but obviously it's not even about making mistakes. It's also about when you come up against adverse situations in your life that you might not even cause.
Because we got a lot of black men got jammed up, never got out. Life wasn't the same no more.
Yep.
Got locked up and everything, especially being from them certain places. And like I said, I mean, hey, and you know, he was adopted by some white parents. Sweet, you know.
Right.
Great. Did a good job with him, you know, and everything. So, you know, he made a comeback, man. And, you know, he's definitely a down-to-earth guy. And it's a story to see and kids to see. He's just a great guy. Love to give back.
So you got a guy like that on the defensive side with Pickens in the locker room. I ain't got no concerns about.
Well, right now, regardless of what he did, he's acting right now. So I'm I can tell you, Melvin, let's move to the next step. Just pray for him. Hope he keep the attitude right.
What do you think about what you think about Christian Parker overall as a defensive coordinator and the staff that he was able to assemble in a short time?
A couple guys I talked to because he was a DB coach with the Philly, the Eagles, and heard a lot of great things about him. And just hearing him talk, interviews, and doing some reading up on him.
The brother's smart.
His brother's smart, and he's young.
Young smart.
He's young.
Yeah.
Getting the opportunity to coach one of the famous franchise, who I hate, but him getting that opportunity, you know, it's a great opportunity for him. So my thing is this: if he turn that defense out, get that defense right, and you got to watch the Cowgirls, but he get it right. But here's my thing: he do a good job because he's bringing a big income, getting that defense together. Will he be up for a head job in about 4 or 5 years from now?
Here's what I tell you: he turned that defense.
That's the thing I'm saying.
He turned that defense around. It ain't gonna take 4 or 5 years. It's gonna be 2. We're gonna have him this year. We're gonna have him the year after that.
No, my point I'm saying is a lot of guys that did it ain't still got jobs. You had 10 jobs open right now. Even a black man even have a chance. That's my point. My point is it's easy to say that, but I won't say that. My point is if he do good, would he have a chance of getting a head job? Because there's too many guys out there should be head coaches doing a hell of a job. Like Coach Joseph. Shout out to you, Coach Joseph, Van Joseph. Seen him at the combine. Shout out to you, Mickey, signing your extension at Grambling. But he's a prime example. He should have been up for a job too. And he already paid his dudes. Already did what he got to do. Only reason why he wasn't in the Super Bowl because their quarterback got hurt.
So
let's just be real.
So do you think some of these guys, and I've heard this, they go interview for jobs, they don't really want that job. Like they're getting paid hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars to be D coordinator, and they want to go to the right situation because they know we don't have, we don't get as many chances as other people.
Right, but as a head coach, some of these places, they hire you, but they'll tell you, even the white coaches, but they'll tell you what they want. They tell you what they got to do. They want to bring in their people. You know, Byron Leverage turned down the Jacksonville job. I wish he would have never turned it down because sometimes you can fight over that, get over on that sometimes. And I don't say why his name not out no more, but a lot of times
why is his name not out there no more? He's a good offensive coordinator.
You tell me. You tell me. And my point I'm making too is a lot of times they want to hire who they want to hire. Like you bring in, I'm going to hire the DC. We're going to hire, you're going to bring this coach in. And it's like they got you in a paralyzed situation, how some of these organizations are. And that's why a lot of coaches turn down jobs because situations like that.
Well, so shout out to America's team because America's team had that reputation as early as last year when they hired Schottenheimer. He brought in Eberflus. Eberflus was a Jerry Jones guy, had been a coach at the Cowboys before. I wasn't that high on him because he did a good job as a DC in Chicago, but he flamed out as a head coach and he wasn't as innovative. And so Jerry and Steven and the Cowboys, they pivoted. They brought in CP, and they let him bring his whole staff in. Yeah, you don't hear nothing about. This is what Shotty wanted. This is what they had tenements. They wanted good character guys, energy guys, and they wanted good teachers.
Jerry did some things before too, and then went in that handpick. He went and drafted Quincy Carter behind. He just hand drafted him.
That's
Everybody
20 years ago.
I'm just saying, Jerry would do things.
But what are you doing now?
What he's doing now is they got a good thing going. They got this DC in there to get their defense right. They gonna be straight. Dallas Cowboys will have a good team, but guess what, y'all? They gonna always come on the short stick. Cause you know why, Julius?
Now you sound like
Jerry Jones.
You sound like
he gonna mess it up
like Stephen Smith. You sound like Stephen A. Smith.
And Stephen
you drinking that Kool-Aid.
Right. He's going. It happens over and over and over. If you don't get it now, the man, what is he past 80 years old yet?
He 83.
And it's going to continue to go on.
And he going to get that.
They're going to always come on the short stick.
Super Bowl is starting
no
right
matter
now.
how they come out, what they do, they're going to come on the short stick. And that's why everybody have one of the most laughing things on social media. They crack jokes, have singers crying. They're going to start off good. You know the black fans, once again, they're going to go 2-0. We're going to Super Bowl. And all that's good to have confidence. Don't get me wrong, but not that early. But all the stuff we're saying, I think they're going through the right line. But they would never win a Super Bowl, Mel. They're going to always come short. Because of why? Because of Jerry.
So why the Texans coming up short then?
Why the Texans come up short? Texans come up short.
Because they owner?
No.
Because of their GM? Because of their coach? Why they coming up short? They ain't won either.
Hold on. First of all, we talking about the reputation this man got. We talking about what he's known for doing, man. We talking
He's not doing that right now.
Hold up. First of all, when I sent you that thing on Instagram, his most embarrassing loss. And the most embarrassed, he was so embarrassed. I never seen that man turn red in my life. When they back in 2002, when they start with Texas first game, and they lost to the Texans. And my point I'm saying too is, you trying to compare him with the Texans. First of all, Texans owner was an asshole, and he's out of here. The wife is, I like the wife. The son don't know what he doing, but what they do this year, and we see what's gonna happen. What is the future for the Texans? What is the future for the GM? What is the future for Cole Ridge, Bernard Strike? So that's a whole nother story. All I'm saying is, you talking about the Texans, you can't compare nobody else to Jerry Jones, because Jerry Jones is known for
being the best owner in the NFL.
Yeah.
You're right.
And build
and making
nice
everybody
thing,
money.
And build a nice picture and mess it up at the end.
Making everybody money. So
and coming up short.
By the way, I didn't say if I didn't.
I mean, Julius, they can't even get to the Super Bowl. At least the 49ers get there. You know, these guys.
Are we really talking about participation trophies again?
Hey,
you haven't. So tell me who played in the Super Bowl 2 years ago and lost.
You can't. They didn't. We know why they lost, but they got there though. Y'all can't even get there.
Get there.
Matter of fact, y'all can't even get to the championship game to get to the Super Bowl. So come on.
That means everybody the same spot at the end of the year. You got one winner. One winner.
And Jerry Jones. It keep going on and on.
One winner.
Yeah. So it looked good.
It's so easy.
It's gonna be so embarrassing.
It's so easy to hate on the star. I get it. I get it.
I'm gonna ask you this: how I'm hating on the star, hating on the team, can't make it to the championship game?
Because you said
I'm talking football. Y'all doing a hell of a job.
How many championship games?
You ran Jimmy Johnson.
How many championship games have the Texans made?
Texas, you can't compare that to Dallas.
In the same time period. How many championship games have the Texans made same time period as the Cowboys made?
First of all, you want to argue me about the Texans. You keep putting the Texans. First of all, I'm not just a diehard Texans fan. I'm behind Coach Ryan. I like Ryan. But if you want to go there, Dallas Cowboy fans can't say nothing to the Texans fan because at the end of the day, that stuff y'all did in the past, the Texans even exist. Now since the Texans
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking same time period.
Y'all ain't did nothing since the Texans exist.
And Texans ain't
gonna
beat.
I guarantee you, y'all ain't gonna beat Texans this year. Watch.
Okay.
Last time y'all played them and beat them. And then the first game they ever played in 2002, they beat y'all. So come on, man.
Okay.
We're gonna keep
we talking about same time period.
Come on, man.
Same time period. Same time period. Yeah. Texans have not gone to a championship game. Cowboys haven't gone to a championship game. So everybody want to harp on Cowboys ain't made no championship game. Well, Texas ain't.
But Melvin, all the conversations about how y'all looking good trying to build things, at the end y'all gonna fall because this man gonna mess it up. Okay. Because this was like 2 years ago. It was like this. Hey, come on now.
So let's talk about non-franchise tag guys. So we got a top. Well, let's talk about the guy I was talking about earlier, Kenneth Walker, running back for Seattle Seahawks, MVP.
I think they're gonna sign him.
They didn't franchise him. Well, how you letting that dude? I mean, if you need a running back, you go get that dude. All he did was move the chains. And they had the kind of the Detroit Lion model, where they had the Charbonneau guys, so it was like thunder and lightning.
Running backs are real funny, y'all. And like I got a couple friends age, and they'll tell you real funny, representing them, even in high school, getting recruited. It's just a funny position, and if they let him go, they got something underneath their sleeves, and they're gonna probably go get another young back, get a free agent out there. And because at the end of the day, Seattle had a good offense. At the end of the day, Seattle had a good offensive line. At the end of the day, Seattle had a good receiving core. At the end of the day, they put that boy in a good system, and he did his thing. Most improved quarterback, So they probably got something underneath their sleeves why they want to sign him back because they probably want to use that money for some other things and go get another young back. That's just how the business goes sometimes.
So you don't think he deserves to get paid?
I think he deserves to get paid.
Based off of what he
But somebody going to get him, and if his agent's smart, he's smart, they're going to go to another team already put together, and they can bite him in the butt.
What team out there you think, if he don't stay in Seattle, he would benefit by going to?
I can't really say that now. I mean, I can't really say that now. I mean, do the Chargers need a back?
No, they got.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Denver
already got a back.
What you think about him going to San Francisco? He can
go there.
You got to lighten that load off Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, well, I bet it's been played out. That boy,
Christian McCaffrey. I mean, but he led the league in rushing 2 years ago. But you can't continue to put that. He gonna get hurt at some point.
Yeah, but he
too late.
Too late.
Julius, you don't think it'd be a good move for him to stay on the West? He stay on the West Coast. He go to San Francisco. Kenneth Walker go to San Francisco and become the bell cow.
Nah.
That's not a good move for him. All right, so Julius,
I've been hearing Big Garrett up in what's his name in Cleveland. I've been hearing he might be going to Buffalo.
Oh, Myles Garrett?
Garrett.
Myles Garrett going to Buffalo would be
that's gonna be nasty.
Silly.
Yes.
Silly. But I don't know if that's enough to put him on the top, though. I don't know if that's enough to put him on top.
Yeah, it is. With
who they wide receivers?
Miller and all
I keep asking who they wide receivers.
Well, I'm sure they're gonna draft a receiver. I'm sure they're gonna do that.
That's the problem. Who they wide receivers? When you can't name, you got an all-pro, all-world quarterback. You can't name the wide receivers. I mean, they got Keon Coleman. He's from Florida State. Shout out to him. But he just hadn't developed into a true number one, or even he's barely a number two.
He got some growing up to do. He's still growing.
Yeah, he got some growing up to do for sure.
I'm very disappointed.
What you think? Where's Trey Henderson going? The edge rush out of Cincy. He led the league in sacks 2 years ago.
Yeah, they're not gonna franchise him.
No, he's free.
I don't know.
Free agent.
I don't know.
He got some trials on that. He got some miles on that tread, but I mean, he can still get you anywhere from 12 to 16 sacks. That's a commodity.
That's gonna be interesting. Free agent is very interesting this year in the NFL, by the way, Mel. Dallas Melvin, I'm telling you, it's very interesting what's going on, what's gonna happen, and that's gonna be something interesting too. See what's gonna happen there.
So speaking of another potential free agent, somebody else hot off the presses is gonna get released. Another Texas boy out of Dallas, Kyler Murray. Arizona's announced that they're not going to re-sign him. 9-year vet who's has very good stats in the league, and literally
man, Gary Coleman can't even see over the line.
There's two things. He's been health challenged, I would say, over the last couple of years, but I think he's finally past that and ready to move on. And then secondly, you know, they got the word out there he liked to play video games a little too much.
Man, let me tell you something. Murray is just like his daddy. He's a little asshole. His daddy a big asshole. And all he want to do is have all them 14 TVs around the room and play the video games. He's hard to coach, hard to deal with. And he's a bust. And he's a midget. I mean, come on.
Bust.
He's a midget.
Name a bust that's been in the league 9 years.
What has he? Okay.
Name a bust in the league 9 years.
It's a lot of quarterbacks.
And was a starter.
Hold up. Time out.
Starter.
Melvin,
he's been a starter the whole time in the league for 9 years.
Julius, question. How many quarterbacks been in the league came in starting to being a backup and being a backup for a long time in the league? It's a bunch of them out there.
No.
Especially
name me somebody that's been a starter in the league for 9 years, because he started the whole time he was in the league.
He said start, right? Not
Starter.
Okay, starter. Okay,
he started in the league for 9 years at quarterback. That we gonna label.
Well, he got benched. Did he get benched?
No, he never been benched. He was hurt.
Okay, that's the problem. He's too damn little.
Oh my God!
He can't see over the line. Bryce Young is a different.
Same height. He's
5'10".
Same height.
Hold up, time out. I'm 5'9". That boy 5'8". I stood next to that boy several times.
And he's faster than Bryce Young.
He's faster than Bryce Young. Okay. Yeah. It don't matter who the fastest. Bryce can run. Bryce can protect himself. Bryce play like a pro quarterback. Bryce can stay in that damn pocket at his height. Bryce can go. And he showed everybody what he did. He started off because they threw him out there. So don't be counting on Kyler Murray. At the end of the day, to see what's going to happen to the boy. I'm going to tell you what happened.
Hold on, because everybody can't hear him. So producer Julius said Kyler Murray, which I agree with, held his own. They first put him in as starting quarterback in Arizona, but they didn't put the right pieces around him, allow him to be successful.
First of all, he had he has that. Right, but the reality is this. He had the right people around him. He got the right people around him right now. The problem is him. Now, you start off in the league, your first 2 years, you good, they got film. If you don't study, you got Hopkins. He threw a Hail Mary to Hopkins. Now, you got the best young receiver in the league, and he can't get no shine because his behind can't get the ball to him with his little short Gary Coleman behind. Marvin Harrison III was the junior. I mean, come on, you got stuff around him. And he go to Minnesota, he ain't going to be no threat. Now, McCarthy mess up, and they put Gary Coleman in there. We'll see what he do. Other ain't gonna do nothing. Man, please. Man, they got film on that boy. That boy done something. Man, he too short. Man, come on, 5'8". Come on.
Let us know what y'all think about Kyler Murray in the chat.
He ain't balling like no Doug Flutie. Shoot, he ain't balling like Bryce balling right now. Bryce got a future. He got a damn good future. I wish we would have got him. But oh, it didn't happen.
I mean, that's 2 number 1 picks.
Yeah, it happened.
Because Kyler Murray went number 1 too.
Talking about around him, he got enough around him. Running back, everything. And got the best young receiver. And he can't shine because he got Gary Coleman throwing to him. So now he's going to have a good year, whoever get there, because they're going to be able to get it to him. And then the backup quarterback came out, and he was balling.
So you don't think Kyler Murray will be starting in the league this year?
No, McCarthy gonna start if he go there. They just trying to bring somebody they think they can put a threat. McCarthy.
You mean in Minnesota?
I mean Minnesota, yeah. Come on, man. See, here's my thing.
So if he's that bad, why would you start him?
Here's my thing, and back to the Texans. What are they gonna do? Because word out is teams talking about giving them some trades for Mills. My thing is, who can we bring in? Now, you may think I sound silly and crazy. He's been playing a long time, but I think he'd be a good backup. I know he's a free agent.
Who would be a good backup?
If he signed Teddy Bridgewater.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can bring Bridgewater as a backup.
What's his name in Phoenix? I know they're going to keep him. You know, the backup quarterback. What's his name? With New England, with the Cardinals.
Brissett.
Brissett. Yeah, Brissett. He's not going nowhere.
Kobe Brissett.
Yes. So we're going to see what's going on because word out the Jets talking about getting them because they need a quarterback.
And Jets talking about getting Kyler?
Mills. Somebody getting Mills.
Oh, Davis. Oh,
they
yeah.
talking about trade. They literally talking about getting some trades.
Mills. Put it this way: if the Texans would have played Mills in the playoffs last year, they would have made the Super Bowl. But Mills is the quintessential bus driver, which is not. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. He's not going to go out there and lose the game for you, and he ain't going to necessarily go out there and win the game. But he's going to make sure that he keeps you in the game. So he's going to make the right plays. And when I say that, he made some plays.
I don't think he'll start, but can he start for 18 games?
That's the thing. Because once you get tape on him, and that's why I said he can be the bus driver because you're going to have to cut down.
Well, you can get tape on him all day long as he's studying. He's the guy going to study.
Well, you're going to have to cut down the playbook.
Yeah. But the thing is, some of these guys, they got tape on and they got tape, and you ain't doing what you got to do to prove yourself.
But also, with Davis Mills, because the Texans, look at it. They position players. They got weapons. What weapons? If you go to New York Jets, he got Garrett Wilson as it.
Yeah,
what other weapons you got? He got Breece Hall too.
Yeah, and having an organization, you got to keep your quarterback room right.
So let's get on. Let's talk about a former NFL player.
Yes.
That got an opportunity. So we've talked about this before in the past. You know, when guys get jobs, who you putting on, and who you giving opportunities to, and especially that people that look like us. Are we giving people that look like us other opportunities? I champion that cause. If somebody looks like me and I got a chance to give them that opportunity, I'm going to give them the opportunity. But here's the caveat. If somebody gives you that opportunity, you got to do something with the opportunity. And you got to make sure that whoever gave you the opportunity, you serving them well and making sure that you do a good job and you don't get out the lines. Now, allegedly, Deion Sanders, not allegedly he gave Warren Sapp an opportunity, but Deion gave Warren Sapp an opportunity, and allegedly Warren Sapp started coloring outside the lines and ended up having to resign from his position as D-line coach in Colorado. Before we get to that, Mr. Football, because I got my opinion on it too, how would you grade Warren Sapp as a D-line coach in college football?
Probably F. I mean, he's nothing but a screamer. Shoot, that's all he is, a screamer. And that's it. I mean, it ain't nothing. Listen, there's a reality people got to understand. At University of Colorado right now, it's the University Soul Circus down there. Simple as that. And the stunt he tried to pull, I mean, come on, man. You know, kids.
So let me give you my grade on him, and I'm going to let you tell the story, the alleged story. So why Sapp had to resign. So I give Warren Sapp a D. Now, here's the reason why I don't give him an F. Here's why the reason why I don't give him an F. Because they needed that energy guy, and Warren Sapp provided that energy. And when you're devoid of talent, which Colorado don't have the best talent, you got to get energy into these kids to try to get the most out of them. So that's the only reason I give him a D, because I watched him.
First of all, he wasn't. He was coaching D-line. He had another guy coach D-line. I both give him both F, because everybody keep talking about the O-line, but the O-line played better than the D-line. The D-line was trash. You had teams were averaging over what? Look at the stats. They was averaging over. That's how you grade, coaches. That's how you grade. They was averaging over what, 200 yards a game. That was killing them, the D-line. and everybody on the O-line.
So we grading coaches on production, right?
You're damn right.
Okay.
And you got to grade them on the guys you bring them in.
So tell us the story. Tell us the story.
My understanding,
I got another question about another coach.
My understanding, you know, the man's making, I think, $175 a year. And I know he used to a lifestyle. He can't really live anymore. I mean, not saying live more. I'm just saying never know what happened. You can win a lotto or something. But anyway, my understanding was it was guys was getting a transfer portal. Mm-hmm. And he was kind of mentoring them, looking, advising them, looking out for them. My understanding. And my understanding,
allegedly,
he was trying to, there you go. He was trying to negotiate with those kids because those kids was talking to, some of them kids that was following his lead was talking to the schools and said, you know, Sap is my advisor, my mentor, and this, that,
so he's trying to get a cut.
He's trying to get a cut.
Like 10% cut.
Something like that.
So if University A paid this kid $1 million, Sap was looking for his $100,000.
It was 10, yeah, exactly.
It's 10%.
And my understanding, when those kids got to talking like that, of course, you know, coaches, ding, 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 ding.
Right.
So they like give their head coaches. So I'm sure First State University was doing.
They called Colorado.
Was going over Dion, they called Colorado. And my understanding, the university let him go.
Right.
This happened about a month ago, my understanding. A couple of weeks ago, a month ago, something he had been let go before he got out. They put that he resigned. The university got rid of him. And he was trying to negotiate things outside. And my thing is, you know, Dion looked out for you with the job. Even the kid going to leave. I'm going to leave anyway. I got some people after me. Help going. I mean, come on, man. I mean, I don't know. We know he probably had some financial problems. And I know he probably used to live in a certain lifestyle, but they paying him now. I don't know. But that's some cold-hearted shit there.
Yeah. That goes back to what I was saying earlier. I'm a big proponent. I know you're a big proponent of putting people on.
Yeah.
But you get put on, you got to do the right things. And even if he wanted to go down that route, you know, you here's what I tell you. If he went to Dion and say, "Hey man, I'm looking to try to do my hustle and try to make me a couple extra dollars," and Dion said, "Hey, do your thing," then that's different. But I don't think
do that. You can't
do that. You can't
that's not
do
even
that.
discussion. You can't even do that in the conversation because there's already things out right now. They put something out there where Coach Phillips says something. So it's all kind of things going on. And then you hire Coach Livingston as your DC. He's supposed to be one of the highest paid defensive coordinator, but my understanding, because it's obvious Dion ain't going to be there after this year, after 26 season.
Why is that?
I mean, you're not winning. And it just is my understanding. I'm sure he's ready to let it go because my thing is the offensive coordinator got hired. I heard he promised to get the job. Then defensive coordinator got the job. Livingston, Randy, I think Livingston, and then he got the job. And next thing had been promised to him, and it's just a bunch of chaos. So that's why he dipped and went to Denver Broncos, which is the right thing. It's a circus down there. It's a mess down there. I mean I wish them the best, but it's going to be hard to win.
It's one of the only programs, Power 4 programs, they got a black head coach, a black DC, and a black OC.
But you acting like that, running your program like that, you messing up for other black coaches.
So you think it's a bad thing that we got all three? We got three
it's
black people at
down there.
Positions.
I don't give a damn what color a coach is. I call it soul circus. It's a black coach. A lot of black coaches down there. It don't matter what color you are. If you run your program like a circus, you got problems, and you ain't gonna last long. Pink, blue, yellow, purple, whatever. It is what it is. I know you're a Dion fan, but this is the reality.
I mean,
you know,
he put a lot of coaches on. He gave Marshall Faulk opportunity. Now he's head coach at Southern.
But here's the thing. My thing is this. It's okay to go hire a form of coaches, players, but hire the right guys and hire guys that even got coaching experience that played in the NFL. Now, Marshall Faulk is a different type of character. That brother's smart. That brother's brilliant. And I think he's going to do a good job at Southern. But, man, think about it. If you gave Sap a head coach job, the whole team going to be getting high. I mean, come on now.
Well, I'm not saying give a head coach job.
Okay.
I think D-line is
even hire him as a D-line coach. I wouldn't trust that joke. My old D-line be getting high.
Come on now. Come on.
You see what just happened. That's worse than even getting high. If all this truth came out, if it's true, come on now. You got coaches turning against each other and talking to media. Man, look, Coach A-Toes going to have to sit down this last year,
Yeah,
it's over, man.
I mean, if I'm him, why I want to deal with that stress anyway? I mean, he got a big contract
and
at the
end. I know
end.
our black people out there love him to death, but like I tell everybody, it's other black coaches out there are good, you know. And there's another coach out there. His program is ghetto mess up for black coaches, but I won't say that. I ain't gonna put it out there now. It's something to talk about later on. But you know, just don't mess it up. You out there, you got to represent. Don't mess it up with other black coaches. That's all I'm saying.
So,
because you got to watch who you hire. That can affect you. Because it's gonna all come back on him, not Sal. Sal walk away scot-free.
Well, he walked away unemployed.
But it come back on the head coach.
But who else is gonna?
If I'm whether I'm black, like I say once again, whether I'm black, blue, purple, whatever. If I'm an AD or I'm working athletic and administrator, I'm like, how the hell you bring him here? You making a program look. You hiring coaches making a program look bad. You gonna go to the head coach, it's gonna make you look bad.
Well, no,
I was raised to hang with the right crowd. That's the way my family taught me.
Sapp didn't have no bad reputation before he got to Colorado. You can't touch him now. If this story is true, you can't touch him now.
Man,
for at least a couple years.
Well, man, this. Why he ain't working at NFL Network? And he was brilliant what he did. He's real good broadcast.
Right,
Why
yeah.
he wasn't working there no more? Because he got jammed up with a lot of other stuff. A lot of other, white stuff.
He proved that he couldn't be corporate when he needed to.
The man got a reputation.
He couldn't be corporate. He couldn't be corporate when he needed to.
What I'm saying, his reputation not been straight even come out of college, bro.
I know, but
ain't no way in the world that boy should have been a 17, 18 pick. They ain't the coach.
But what I'm saying is, Sapp struggles to be corporate when he needs to, and that's because we got other cats. And I'm not gonna put him in the same. I'm not gonna put him in the same vein. But you know, Deion came out of Florida. He was flamboyant, but Deion learned how to be corporate when he needed to.
Oh, he did?
Absolutely.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Why? How you think he got Coca-Cola to donate all that money to Jacksonville, Jackson State?
Yeah, you got a girl named Tracy Edmond helped him out too.
Okay. All right. Why you think?
He did the help, but
okay.
Yeah, but it's like
everybody need help.
Yeah, but it's like, what are you doing now? It's like Janice say, what have you done lately? Why you can't raise money for NIL then?
What do you mean raise money for NIL?
But I'm not here to argue about it.
He sold out Colorado.
I'm not here to argue about that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he black, he got to win games. And his black eight-toe ass can't win no games. And this is the last year out of there. So you're about to change the subject, bro. Shit. It's a circus down there. Universal Soul Circus. So I look like an idiot going
as
back
a reminder, go on YouTube, subscribe so you can hear more about the Soul Circus. Make sure you go check out our Instagram,
the Soul Circus,
Twitter,
it's getting a bit
Facebook,
down
In the Tunnel Sports Media.com. Check us out for sure. Truesdale, we at that point in the show, man. What's the Truesdale moment?
That.
Gotta give us something else. You gotta give us something else.
That all I'm gonna say is this.
You gotta give us something else.
As a black coach, you have to run your program right. We don't get that many opportunities. Now, sometimes coaches get let go. It ain't right. You know, I saw a lot of coaches get let go. I guess I've been watching the Tampa Bay documentary, how Dungy got let go and everything. But you are who you are. So you have to have class. You have to teach your kids with class. You got to have right coaches. You got right players that they're going to relate. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, you know, you a two-sport athlete, a guy I love growing up. As a person, he's a different person. But, you know, you're known for that. But at the same time, you're on a big stage coaching. Is it like, is Deion Sanders going to go down in history, talked about more, especially if we have a horrible season next year at Colorado, being the worst college D1 coach or black coach? Are you going to be most talked about? Win the Super Bowl with Dallas, being a two-sport athlete, going to the Hall of Fame. That's going to, you know, because you want to go out right away. Like, everybody talk about Michael Jordan not running the team right, but he's still holding it down up there. And he's in even other sports, race car driving, but they don't want us in. The last black man I know tried to get a whole race car driving team was Bill Cosby. You know, he tried to break a lot of barriers.
Actually, a lot of people don't remember Brad Doherty.
Yeah, Doherty
was in North Carolina. Yeah. He had a championship race car team. He was one of the first black people to get into it.
Yes, and Jordan winning. The guy took a picture next to his thing, did the same thing with Jordan. He took both pictures, and he got bubble. So my thing is, Jordan is the best basketball player ever. Jordan always, and he's one of my top 3, top 4 athletes ever. But it's something I can still talk about him because he breaking barriers being a black man Y'all want to talk about this black stuff and everything, and that's one of the most racist things to get into race car driving, and he's winning. And like you said from the beginning, Julius was talking about that before the show. They was trying to put him in certain lanes and everything, and this dude's taking over. They sometimes when you build your stock up, they can't turn you away.
Right.
They can't do that, Jordan. And he's from the state. That's how it would look real bad. And now this man making history. That's something I'm glad we could talk about. Keep it up, Jordan. You doing his thing. While y'all study, Prime. He just lay y'all down day by day, just a soap opera down there.
Hey, I just like the fact he giving us opportunities. So he might be taking an L. He might be taking an L on some.
Here's the deal.
But he's giving us a shot.
You give anybody an opportunity, but be smart when you're in certain business. Period. Especially when it's not that many of us, and it's hard for us to get them jobs. I mean, how many coaches come from black schools to white schools? That's hard to do. And him playing NFL did help. Willie Simmons is one of the up-and-coming best coaches. Used to be at Prairie View. Ended up taking the job at FAM. Because he would have stayed at Prairie View, they would have won multiple SWAC championships. Best coach to me of Prairie View ever hired. And Willie had to leave FAM to go to Duke to get back in the mix. And now he's at FIU. And went to a bowl this year. Somebody did in the Y. So he's doing a hell of a job. His name is going to be hot. And he get that opportunity, he's going to be a good example of what a black coach got to do to run a team. Because it's a lot of our coaches are really letting us down. I mean, you look at Mel Tucker. He let that freak set him up. That girl went up a stone freak. She done a mind game.
Sharon Moore.
And it came back on.
Sharon Moore.
Sharon Moore, same way. Even though he talking about he going to win the case, but you lost your job. You put yourself in jeopardy. And you had a historical program. Yeah. I mean, come on, you made this.
And somebody put him on.
Yeah. So
basically got handed a job. Harbaugh handed him the job.
Yeah, you can't mess up. And you messing up, and you messing up for the other young up-and-coming black coaches, because there's a lot of good coaches out there, young coaches coming up now and everything. So you got to set the opportunity, because Michigan ain't going to – I don't think they'll ever hire another black coach. Now, Notre Dame did. Everybody thought they couldn't do it, and he's doing a hell of a job.
Yeah.
Freeman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So that is our theme for this show. And we all got a responsibility. It's voting season. You got a responsibility to vote, but you also got a responsibility that not only to help put somebody on, but if you're the person that gets put on, you got a responsibility to perform at a high level, to make sure you represent not only yourself first, but also represent the other person that helped put you on and get you in that situation.
Okay, like the defensive coordinator, my understanding, helped my little brother. Little brother I never had. I'm the youngest. He's my little brother. Him, Coach Ralph Street, Michael James, shout out to you. They're my little brothers I never had. He just got on with the Browns. And he come from Marshall. Should have been at a P4 school. A lot of these people don't get the opportunities. You got some good coaches at FBS, D2, can't never get up. But he was at started off black school, was at Air Force, at Marshall, with this alma mater, you know what I'm saying? And Chad Pender, shout out to him, helped him get there, and he's been doing a hell of a job. Put the Green kid out last year and got two other kids up there. Now he just got on with the Browns. So he's been waiting because he wanted to get in the NFL.
Right.
So he's a guy, Class A guy. Remember the name, Ralph Street, and he's going to be a hell of a coach. And I can't see him never even come back down to college. And if he do, he'll have a big-time job. At the end of the day, he's going to take advantage of his opportunity, and he's going to have class with it.
So Mark Lewis, shout out to you in the chat. He says every situation is a springboard for the next position, right? Yeah. So I agree with that wholeheartedly, for sure. And if you're going to springboard yourself to your next position, you got to make sure that you're the best at that current position. And obviously, Sapp wasn't the best at his current position,
and he had no experience.
He don't have no experience, and he didn't represent himself.
He had no experience, and that's another thing. You know, a lot of these guys, like I was talking about Coach Street, he's one of the guys that come under Willie Simmons, and he coached with Huff at Memphis, who's a hell of a coach. Black coach, he's another guy. I can see him being at Memphis for a year or two, and he's been under Nick Saban and everything. So you being around the right people grooming you for these jobs, that helps a whole lot. That's how you get ready. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, that's all we got this week.
I got to get a shout out there.
Got to go shout out? Go
I
ahead.
get a shout out to my boys, Metacol Lawrence, defensive end at Florida State. I'm sorry, Central Florida. Did a hell of a job at the combine, too, by the way.
Okay.
4.5, vertical, everything. He's going to probably be a late first rounder, early second rounder.
Okay.
But the kid is the shock of the draft, too. Of the combine. It's a kid out of Stephen F. Austin from Mesquite named Charles Dimmons, a.k.a. Chuck.
Yeah, I heard about him.
DB put on a show. Did a hell of a job. And
Cowboys, go get him.
Looking forward to going to his pro day on September the 19th.
Go get him, Cowboys. We need it. We need that local hometown.
That boy, real deal.
Pick him up.
Yeah, hey, definitely. You know, by the way, and give a shout out to Street, back to Coach Street, getting the boy ready, because that's his godson.
Okay.
Lawrence, Metacol Lawrence, yeah. So, yeah.
Thanks again for joining us in the tunnel. Don't forget, like us, subscribe, In the Tunnel Sports Media on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We'll see you next week.
And shout out to the voters.
Peace.